Hey guys, how's it going today? It's about 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday, March 19th, and I'm going to explain to you guys what's been going on here with Bitcoin so far, all right? And the reason I'm making a new video is because we just tried to break above 8,600 and the bears just took over. The bulls got destroyed, all right? Like they got completely smashed, okay? So let's go over what's been going on so far. We'll go near the beginning so we can get a good understanding of everything going on. And it won't be a long video. I'll keep it fairly short, okay guys? So the way I'm seeing this is a super small first wave, second wave, third, fourth, and a fifth right there like that, right? Actually, I'd say more so this is my fifth because this is like an A, B, C, D, E type of structure like that, okay? That's kind of a triangle that it made. So this looks really good, and it actually got some really large extensions because it was at the bottom, right? It was at the bottom in terms of reaching 7,200. So of course we'll get naturally bigger extensions for the third and fifth wave. So we reached a target of 261.8 and a 361.8, pretty much right on the nose, right? A lot of people probably took profit there because that's the 161.8 extension, which is very, very viable target to take profit. That's why there was some hesitation there, but we completely shot right past it, as you've noticed, okay? So right now, the way that I'm looking at this is pretty much like this, okay? This is the bullish possible count, or sorry, the bearish count, where we're just doing some sort of A, B, and then C coming down like that, right? That's one possible count. And then there's the bullish count as well, where perhaps this is only all of wave one, okay? Let's just say, like for hypothetically, this is now 1, 2, then this is 3, 4, and 5. So we get a possible 5 count there. And then this right here is actually the first subwave, right? Of a massive wave going up. So because of the indecision of this particular count right now, and I'm not really sure what the heck it is, right? Because sometimes it can be very difficult to count without that much data. So this is, a bullish count. I'm not saying it's going to get to these ranges. Don't get me wrong at all, right? I'm just giving you guys an example of the count because then this could very well be just the first subwave, okay? The first subwave, and all of this is the wave 2 substructure, right? Or that's even the beginning of an impulse wave up, and then we basically get an impulse wave up like that, just to give you guys, right, a kind of bullish count, something like that, just to make sure everybody's on the same page. Now let's talk about what's happened in detail, okay? Like crazy what happened. We almost got a 3-line strike with this candle on the 5-minute chart. A 3-line strike is basically a bearish engulfing candle that takes over all 3 candles, right? Like fairly large red candle. So on 10-minute chart, we got a very huge bearish engulfing candle. Now, what is a bearish engulfing candle? It's a candle that engulfs, right? The body of the red candle is much bigger than the body of the previous candle. That's what we call a bearish engulfing candle. On a 10-minute chart as well, we got the same thing. On a 30-minute chart, we got the same thing. On a 45-minute chart, we got the same thing. And then on a 1-hour chart right here, we ended up getting kind of like a tweezer bottom here, which was a fairly good candle, in my opinion. But if it was red first and then green next one, it would have been a much better candle, right? This implies that we went up and then we went down. So this is actually much more bearish than bullish. But if it was reversed, it would be a lot more bullish. Now, why did this happen, guys? Okay, why did this happen? We need to understand key resistances. Would you guys agree with me that this right here is fairly a key resistance? Take a look, okay? Right here is a key resistance, key resistance, key resistance. So naturally, we're not going to be able to break it yet most times. So what I advise to people is to always consider taking profit when you're near the top. That's why this happened. A lot of people ended up taking the profit. Oops, I'm just going to put my symbol last value back on here. Take off indicator labels. Yeah, okay, so people took profit at the top, right? Because we hit a fairly major resistance, and that's what I recommend for people to do. consider taking some of your profit, right? If not all of it, definitely not all of it, but definitely consider taking some of your profit, because then you can play with house money. I know I've said that a few times, something else was on my mind, sorry. Then you can play with house money if we end up breaking above it, which makes entire sense, right? If we break above it, you can always buy back into strength. But if you end up downtrending, then at least you've taken some of your profit, right? And then maybe you can just break even, or you take some of your profit if we end up correcting the other way. So we have to be very wise about profit taking. So now if I actually draw my chart, what we see very easily right now, okay, I'm just going to extend this a little bit, is we see an ascending triangle, right? But we don't know if we're going to break it. We have no idea whatsoever if we're going to break it. That's why the bearish and the bullish count is still in play. So if we actually counted this as our wave 1, and this would be our wave 2, right? This could be easily wave B coming down. So if this was wave B coming down, what is very likely to happen is we might get some sort of A, B, C, D, E corrective pattern inside of here. So if we got that, it would look something like that, right? Maybe A, B, C, D, and then E touch like that, and then we break down. So how are we going to play this? That is the important thing to know, okay? Now the rest doesn't really matter too much, right? What happens? Because all we need to know is how to play this particular structure. Let me just clear some of this up here right now. Get this on here. Let me just have a sip of my water. My throat's so dry right now, guys. Okay. Excuse me there. Here we're already getting on a 30-minute chart. We can't even get up to 85.44, right? So let's say that, let's give you guys some hypothetical scenarios. If this was A, B, C, D, E, right, it would do something like that perhaps, and then break down. If it was an impulse wave up, then this could imply is that this is wave 1, that's wave 2, and this is a small first subwave, right? And it just keeps going up and up and up like that, right? So the way we play this is we wait for a break, okay? This is a pretty important region. We can't really get above 8,600. So to me, completely no trade zone. What I'm gonna wait to do is I'm gonna wait for it to clear 8,600 with flying colors, okay? And I'm gonna wait for it to clear 8,700 with flying colors. And then I will wait until the first correction wave if we break out of it, right? To make sure that we don't actually trend back below the 8,600 resistance area. And then I will buy it on the bounce. If you guys are very risky players, you guys are absolutely welcome to try to take a chance on the breakout, right? So that's a possible way to play as well. Another possible way to play is to even buy it right now and set your stop loss. But where's your stop loss, right? That's an important thing as well to make note of. Where is your stop loss going to be if you entered into a long position? It's all about the risk to reward, right? Right now the target, let's say you put your stop loss over here. Well, the next logical target that we would get up to, just based on some fib, not fib, but like reasonable targets, would be about 8,900, I'd say, right? So, you know, if you guys got into a position right now, that'd be an okay position, I'd say, right? But it's also very risky in terms of probability. We don't really know if it's going to break up. We don't really know if it breaks down. So the best thing to do would be to play it on the breakout with a lot of conviction, right? Then that would be like 8,900 or even higher than that, 9,000 ranges. Now, another way to play it, of course, is to short the market. Now, people don't like it when I talk about shorting the market, but I don't care, guys. I just see the money. It's all about... Yeah, the people who don't understand why people short the market, they're probably newer traders, right? Newer traders don't understand that we make money both ways, going up and going down. So another way to play is, you know, if it shorts, or if we break down, we just simply set a stop loss slightly higher than the triangle, and a very reasonable target would be anywhere. I'm just gonna try to find my fib here. It could be anywhere like the 618 Fibonacci level, perhaps. That's a very reasonable number to target, I would say. Okay, 618 fib. So we could be targeting anywhere down to the 7,800 range, even the 8,150, but I really doubt 8,150 will hold, to be quite honest. Okay, I'm also guessing in between these regions. Like, let's just say we went to the average right here. That's still a 4.79 risk to reward. So if it breaks, this is actually a very likely probability, and I think the majority of people want this scenario because the risk to reward is quite fantastic, right? So now let's say we cleared all this up as well. So I've talked about some of the different plays that we can take, right? Now there's a good chance we're just going to trend sideways into here until morning, right? I don't think it's much is going to happen right now. We're just going to go sideways. Price action is not really dictating too much right now. Candlestick analysis is just looking sideways in this triangle, right? But if we actually go to some charts, like say a 1 hour chart, what we can see is when it gets rejected, it doesn't mean the RSI peaks up there, right? The RSI only peaks to basically where the body ends up closing. So if we actually look on the 1 hour chart, what we're seeing, guys, is bearish divergence, right? On the RSI. Take a look at this bearish divergence. We simply couldn't get a higher high than it as well, despite us bullishly diverging like this. I'd honestly just wait on the 1 hour chart to see what this does. Is it going to bounce off of here? Is it going to go up as well? So why is this important to make note of? It's because these two tops right here are basically the same top, right, where they close. But if we look at these two tops over here, it shows bearish divergence, right? So candlestick might be the same close, but RSI is showing that it's losing strength. And that's a very key thing that we must make note of always. If we don't make note of these things, it's hard for us to use other indicators combined with like price action, etc., to get a good gauge. So we have to make note that yes, this is downtrending in terms of RSI, right? Because it's equal in terms of close for the candle once again. So here as well, it looks like it definitely wants to just come down, right? This is the 1 hour MACD, and we have officially crossed already. It has tried to break above, but it just simply couldn't do that, right? Simply couldn't do that. So I'm a little bit worried about for the bulls right now. It looks very scary. If you guys remember from the morning, right, we were talking about this structure here around 86, 8700 at most, and we called the top there together. That was a really good candle close, right? It was very, very bearish. Now we're just seeing like a lot of people, I see more people selling than buying right now. That's the truth. And my gut tells me that just watching the level 2, that it looks more bearish than bullish, unfortunately, okay? And I don't mean to create panic or anything in the market, right? It's not like that. Some people have said things like, oh, you're just trying to scare the market, or why are you getting people to sell? I'm not getting people to, I'm not doing anything, guys. I'm simply just pointing out things that I see, okay? And I'm seeing a lot of bearish signs, right? On the 12-hour chart right here. Let's just go to the 12-hour, or the 4-hour chart at least, okay? Let's clear all this up and take a look at other indicators. 6-hour chart. We got the shooting star, right? We got the shooting star. The next one, very, very, very little volume compared to it. We're already about 1/3 into this candle, but look at the volume, okay? The volume is literally diminished, right? When we look at it from that perspective, despite the candle being very big and green, it doesn't always mean that it's bullish, because it also has a lot to do with liquidity. Now, if we look at the 6-hour candle, that's a huge shooting star. On the 12-hour chart, very bullish altogether. It looks incredibly bullish, but you know, we still might get a slight correction, like a 1-day correction or something like that. So we got to be very mindful of that. Daily as well, it's finished off very nicely, right? I don't think it's going to curve upwards for maybe 4 or 5 days, I'm guessing, right? This might be very short-lived as well, this curve upwards on the 12-hour. On the 4-hour chart, we're already ticking downwards in terms of histogram. And with it ticking down on histogram, it might even signal that, hey, it's time to take some profit for some people. We look at the 4-hour chart as well, we're actually peaking at the RSI. And because we're peaking at the RSI right here, we simply cannot break above a very bullish territory quite yet, which is a good sign. It's a good sign for the long run, right? So for the long run, if we can't really break above it, the short term, if we can't break above it, we slightly correct, but hopefully we bounce off of like a reasonable RSI support. I mean, the next RSI support in the 4-hour is around there, so maybe we'll end up coming downwards and just slightly bounce off of it, and that would be a very good sign. So we can't break above the 55 EMA. That's what's worrying me. We tried, right? We got rejected over here, back down, tried to get back up, completely rejected, and it's all because of this right here, okay? It's all because of this specific region right here. I don't think the second attempt, guys, it's gonna make it there, like the second day attempt, right? What's more likely for this to happen, in my opinion, is to get a small correction and we just, end up trending like that or something, right? Like a triangle that ends up maybe just peaking, maybe not like that, but like 7,800 or something like that. And then it might take a few days for us to actually break above it. Like we trend down here, get into this ascending triangle, get a very bullish pattern going. But check out the activity here, right? There's a lot of activity here that acted as a support. This one acted as a resistance. So because of all this activity in that region, this one and this one, it's very natural for us to face resistance around here as well. So I wasn't really surprised whatsoever. One of our friends, Leon, he entered a long position at 8,500. And I basically told him that there's a massive resistance there, right? So it's wise to consider options at this particular stage. The MACD on 1 hour is the one that's scaring me the most, guys. I mean, yeah, it's very at a critical moment right now. On the 45-minute chart as well, it's very critical in my opinion as well. So 30-minute chart, yeah, it just seems to be in a region where it can't really gain any more bullish momentum, right? Everything that I see, I'm just seeing more bearish signs. So once again, guys, just to summarize, if we break above 8,700, what I plan to do is I plan for it to break well above it and then correct, right? And then correct, and then I will buy most likely the breakout, or I will accumulate. So let's just say that this actually ends up breaking upwards, right? Let's just say there's some sort of impulse wave up, that goes like that, whatever it looks like, okay? Let's say we break out of it completely. I will wait for it to form some sort of pattern. Maybe I'll buy a little bit on a dip, right? Just a tiny bit, a fraction, because then I would want to buy more into strength to be safe, because it's all about managing your risk, right? And then as soon as this breaks out of it like that, that's where I will buy more. We have to make sure we plan these things, guys. It's not just about FOMO buying, right? We have to make sure we've got these actions and these plans well ahead of time. So, I don't really hunt, as much as I scalp nowadays for day trading, I also spend a lot of time swing trading, believe it or not. And this is going to be one of the swing trades that I would like to take if this bullish scenario actually happens, right? That'd be awesome if this actually happens. If it doesn't happen, no problem. Then I'm just going to play with the bearish scenario where we end up, let me just get a closer time frame here, where I just end up shorting the market, all right? I'll end up shorting the market if we do end up breaking down, because there's just not enough force to break it up, right? I thought that we were going to go down already, to be quite honest, right? I thought we were going to go much lower than here. I thought we were going to actually hit this trend line right here. No problem. If we don't break above it, I just enter a short position again. Right, I enter a short position. I'll target easily my lower end support over here, like at least 8,000, right? I'll set my stop loss slightly higher than this trend line at first, and gradually lower my stop loss just to make sure that I profit immensely well. And this one's got a really good risk to reward ratio, right? So this is kind of the way that I would advise people to look at it. Keep in mind, I'm no financial advisor, okay, guys? I'm just here to give you guys hypothetical advice, and I've covered both bull scenario and I've covered both bear scenario. Unfortunately, I do see a little bit more bearish signs than bullish right now, which is the way that my general bias is leaning. But just to be clear, I'm not trying to manipulate anybody, okay? I'm not trying to get you guys to sell. I'm not trying to get you guys to buy, like how some people have said that I'm like they're accusing me of, trying to manipulate a market. I am just here to give you guys unwavering, unfaltered advice, right? Did that come out right? I meant to say unbiased advice. That was probably a better word to use, okay? I'm here to give you guys unbiased advice, and I'm just here to show you guys what I know. I'm not here to manipulate a market at all. I just do my own thing when it comes to trading. I generally don't give a crap if people buy or sell in terms of, me trying to manipulate the market. A good trader doesn't need to manipulate the market, guys. A good trader just trades, right? We don't do this for the money. I don't do this for the money, at least, right? Some people do, some people don't. But what a good trader does is they just focus on doing it for good trades. And they focus on finding good setups, ones that offer high reward for little risk, or with little risk, right? So never mind the money, never mind manipulating the market. I just want to be a good player in the market. I want to be a good gamer, because I see this as a game, right? I want to win fairly. I don't want to be cheating, right? So I'm just kind of defending myself as well, because I've been hearing a lot of weird things about me as well. Usually I don't really spend too much time, you know, defending myself as well. So other than that, have a great day, guys. I would really appreciate an upvote on Steam It. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share to the material as well. You know, re-steam it as well if you guys don't know how to do that. And the way you give me your quick support, just so you guys know, is really easy. A lot of people have asked me, hey, Philicon, how do I upvote your stuff on Steam It? You just go to my name, right? You click on my name when you guys get to my page there, and just click on this little arrow. That's it. It's really simple. It doesn't cost you guys anything except for your time, and that's all I'll ever ask for you guys. I'm not going to ask you guys to like pay for any content or anything, really. That's far from it. So all you gotta do is just click on that tiny little button, and that's about it. Oh, is this video unavailable? Oh, I thought I uploaded the video. Okay, anyways, have yourselves a great day, and thank you for all the love and the support. Bye now.